Check out FlipsideGaming.com for all your gaming needs. Use the promo code HEROES to save 10% on all orders over $10 and support the channel at the same time. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and we got some more unstable previews to look at tonight. Now, we've seen a lot of cards today. We started out this morning with a short video looking at 2 cards from Rivals of Ixalan. Then we did the afternoon video where we looked at the bulk of the unstable previews for today. But since then, there's been more previews. I could have rolled them into tomorrow's video, but I thought I'd rather just do a short video tonight as opposed to making tomorrow's video extra long. So I just went ahead and said, yeah, let's go ahead and do it and talk about them. So here we are. I'm going to jump right into it with the first one that you see on your screen here. It's Animate Library. This costs 2 blue and 4. It's an enchantment or a rare. Enchant your library. Enchanted Library is an artifact creature on the battlefield with power and toughness, each equal to the number of cards in it. It's still a library. If Enchanted Library would leave the battlefield, exile this instead. Okay, so you can turn your library into a big old creature for 6 mana. Seems pretty good. Like, there's not even a whole lot for me to say about it. Now, you can't lose your library or anything like that, because if something were to happen to it, this just goes away instead and goes back to being your library. So it's safe. It doesn't feel like there's a huge drawback or anything in doing this. And at times, even though the card doesn't have evasion, or the library, I should say, doesn't have evasion or anything, doesn't necessarily mean it's not a huge threat on the board. If this is, say, like even a 20/20 creature or something like that, it's going to be kind of hard to deal with. So, pretty cool idea. I love the concept. I have seen a lot of fan-made cards that have created this type of ability before. Not sure if they got the idea from that, or if it's just a pretty, I guess, maybe common idea, but really cool. Happy to see it in the set. Clocknapper. Okay, this costs 2 blue and 3. It's a human spy, rare 2/2. When this enters the battlefield, choose beginning phase, pre-combat main phase, combat phase, post-combat main phase, or ending phase. Steal that phase from target player during his or her next turn. That phase occurs as though it's your turn instead. Okay, this is actually pretty interesting. Costs 5, and it's a little expensive, but I think it's well worth it because you get a 2/2 body, and you get to steal one of your opponent's phases, which there's going to be certain situations where maybe it will make sense to take one of the other phases, but I think most of the time, I just take the beginning phase, untap, upkeep, draw a card. So basically the way it works, the way I'm reading it, is when your opponent takes their turn, you chose the phase that you're going to steal. When it gets to that phase, you carry it out as if it's your own, as opposed to your opponent getting to do it. So if you choose the beginning phase, I think that's the best example here, then your opponent doesn't get to untap, they don't get to draw a card, they don't have an upkeep. Instead, you do untap, upkeep, draw a card, and then from that point forward, you continue on with your opponent's turn, the rest of their turn anyway. So you pull them off their card, you draw a card, you don't let them untap. Feels like that's the best use of this card most of the time. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be situations where you're going to use the other stuff, and it's going to make sense sometimes to take another part of the phase. But in this particular case, yeah, it feels like that's your go-to phase probably for 5 mana. Maybe if you have a lot of vigilance creatures or something like that, you could go ahead and say, okay, let's do combat phase. I don't know if there's a lot of those in the set yet. I guess we'll wait until we see the whole thing. But there will be other examples of it. But overall, I just think it's a cool idea. Novela Mental. This is a blue and 1 elemental common 2/1 with flying. It can only block creatures with flying. This cracks me up because how many times in Magic have we seen this? The blue flyer that's 1 in blue. It's a 2/1. It can only block creatures with flying because that's kind of the drawback they give it. But the only thing that's really, like, silver bordered about this is the name and the art and the flavor text, right? Like, other than that, this could be any Magic card in any set. But I think that's what's cool about this set. Like, even the most standard, normal things you see all the time, they put a fun twist on them. Suspicious Nanny. This costs a blue and 4. It's a human spy rigger. This is an uncommon 3/4. Whenever this deals combat damage to a player, it reassembles target contraption that player controls, which means you gain control of it and move it to one of your sprockets. So basically, you can steal a contraption that's actually pretty sweet. You have to get across the damage with it. It's a 3/4, though. It's got some meat to it, so it's going to be a threat on the battlefield. Your opponent's going to have to avoid that, and I'm sure they're going to try to. But if you can take control of the board state, you can start stealing contraptions. Yeah, that doesn't seem bad to me. And if your opponent doesn't have any or something like that, that's still a 3/4 for 5, which is still a serviceable creature. Alright, this next card was a preview card from Wedge from the Mana Source, and it looks really sweet, actually. We also got the accompanying token to go along with it, the Brainiac token. So the card is The Big Idea. It costs 2 red and 4. It's a legendary creature, Brainiac Villain 4/4. And the ability is you pay a black or red, and 2. Tap, roll a 6-sided die, create a number of 1/1 red Brainiac creature tokens equal to the result. Tap 3 untapped Brainiacs you control. The next time you would roll a 6-sided die, instead roll 2 6-sided die and use the total of those results. So this will work, of course, with this card itself, but also works with many other cards in the set that we've been previewing over the course of the last week or so now, right? So it's actually pretty sweet. But even on its own, this card is super awesome because for 6, you're getting a 4/4 body. It is legendary, so you can't, like, stack these, right? Play them in tandem, but okay, that's fine. You're still taking 4 mana, tapping this thing. And if you roll 1 dice, okay, you have a chance of hitting a 1. That's not great, but you have a chance of hitting a 6. That'd be pretty awesome, right? But even anywhere in between, I feel like you're getting your mana out of it, right? You're getting your money's worth. Now, aside from that, once you do have the ability to tap 3 Brainiacs, now your worst case scenario is 2, your best case scenario is 12. And beyond that, like, usually when you roll 2 dice, the most common number you land on is 7. That's pretty good, right? So this card is going to take over a game if your opponent doesn't stop it, basically. Long story short, your opponent needs to get rid of this real quick or they're having a bad day. So yeah, this is a really sweet card. And someone's a Superman fan, obviously, right? Like Brainiac Villain is the name of is the creature type on the card. Like, wow, that's pretty clearly supposed to be kind of like Brainiac from Superman. So I think that's cool, though. I mean, it's changed enough, obviously, that it's different, but still, it feels like there's definitely an influence there. And I think it's pretty cool. All right, that's it for right now. Tomorrow, though, there's going to be more previews. And we'll come back with another video, talk about all of them. And previews should start coming to a conclusion. They said Wednesday is going to be the last day. So not really sure if Wednesday we're going to get like the full set like we normally do, or if they'll just do more previews and then spoil the full set like later on. But I'll keep you posted. Whatever you find out, I'll definitely report it back to you. Until next time, though, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe. Have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible by the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.